guys. Hi.
Okay. No,
Okay,
we're not going to be
boomer.
depressed. We're going to be really happy that
Welcome
we're here.
back to the podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, no. We're going to do this like this. And music plays. Music playing. Slowly fading down and
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome your hosts, Phil Schneiter and Romain.
it sounds like a boxing event.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Romain!
Are you ready for this? What?
The most intense podcast intro ever.
Yeah. No.
Maybe this bottle should go.
Oh. We can hear the... Oh, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You like that?
No.
Should I spill it? No, wait a minute. We've been there.
Stop. Wait a minute. Sorry.
How do we manage to make every intro like super fucked up? We should do a compilation of only our intros.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be cool.
And put it in like loop for like 24 hours.
Loop of intros.
Yeah.
Perfect. Got each other in a viral video right there.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna do that. I'd love to see all our fucked up intros.
Yeah.
We're here for a quick one today.
A quickie.
A quickie in short, in quick. If you
What are we
We
talking
are
about, Phil? What are we
talking about- we're tired. We're too tired for this one. We need to make this a quick one and wrap it. We've been going on since 9 o'clock. That's 6 hours. Yeah. We're talking about highlight reels.
Nice.
'Cause
What the fuck do you want me to say?
you seem like you've heard it for the first time. Like, oh, nice.
Nice.
Lovely.
Love-
No, it's a topic that, you know, all of us are faced with from time to time. And I think a lot of people struggle with it, which is actually stupid because it's
Should
the
be easy.
nicest thing.
Like
You
on
can show
paper.
off your work, the nicest clips. You can edit it the way you want. You can put your nicest music, whatever you like, put in there. And it doesn't even need to make sense. There's no story behind it. It just needs to look cool and vibe.
And somehow it's the
And
most
somehow
complicated
it's really
thing.
hard
yeah.
for people.
Yeah.
Is it hard for you?
Yeah, really hard. Like
How many times did you edit a reel? Shit, old guy.
Yeah, a few times, but I like every time I edit a reel, I try to make one reel per year. Every time I edit a reel, it takes me like 5 versions.
A year.
No, it takes me like 5 versions because like I try with this music and then
All right.
so just what is the point of a reel? Why do you use your reel for? Why do you need a reel?
I can't speak for everyone, but I guess
Why do you
to
that's
show
why I
off
said-
your work and show people in a very short amount of time what sort of work you do. What's your style? Yes?
Yeah,
Would you add anything to that?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's just like to catch attention and like not necessarily showcase everything, but just like what work you want to do. Because like as DPs, like you work on like a lot of projects, and not all of them are real worthy, and not all of them are necessarily something you're proud of, even though
But
it
it's
looks
work.
good.
Yeah.
It's work. So just like show like what you want to do in the future.
100%.
Yeah. And
So-
how do you use the reel? Like let's say you have the reel. Like what do you do with the reel?
On my website, I kind of want it to be the first thing people see. So they have already 15 seconds in, they have a picture of who I am, what I do. Maybe less of who I am, but what I do. Yeah, but just so they understand like what kind of stuff they can expect.
Yeah.
And of course, then there's projects, but I'm the same way. If I'm hiring a freelancer, in a time, in the shortest time possible, I want to understand like whose website did I land here, and who am I looking at? What does this person do?
Mm-hmm.
And then if I want to dig deeper, of course, I can go into projects and see what kind of projects he did and who he worked for and who he worked with.
Mm-hmm.
But go down the ladder, or up the ladder, whatever. Step by step, like first impression, second detail, third, communication, maybe. And I think I wanted to make it as easy as possible for other freelancers, as just like I want it as well. Because if I'm looking at 10 sound designers, and I need to look at like, even if it's just, if I need 5 minutes for each sound designer, that's already an hour that I need to look at them. If I need 15 seconds for each one, maybe 7 I can already throw out, and only the 3 I can spend 5 minutes on to check them out. You know what I mean? So I think that's one the thing. And then second, also to share with people if they want to like quickly see what I do. Much easier. Share this, and then the website maybe. And Instagram, for, you know, different versions work there as well. Cool vibe. What about you? Same?
Yeah, pretty much the same. I feel like it's a nice way.
Standard,
yeah, I feel it's a nice way for people to like understand like the work you do. Not necessarily trying to be like comprehensive in terms of like all the projects you've done, but just like the best.
It's really just an impression. It's an impression video. Yeah.
What would be like the if someone would come up to you and be like, yeah, I've never done a reel in my entire life. What are the key points to be aware of in order to make a reel successful?
Let's do this together. So I'm gonna say one thing, you're gonna say one thing, so we can add everything together. I think the first thing is it has to be your best work. That's the most important. And honestly, it has to be like the best shot of the best work at the beginning. Like go down, like if you had like all your shots here that you chose for your reel, just do an order. Best shot, second best shot, third best shot. And more or less, of course, sometimes this doesn't work. Sometimes you want to have a different vibe. You want to show another shot first. But in general, go from the best shot to kind of the worst of the best, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Because the first, like with everything, the first 3 seconds are going to decide what the other person on the other side is going to decide what they make of you and how they think of you.
Yeah. So best work first.
Start with like a banger shot, people will be like, ooh, I need to see more of that.
Yeah.
If you start with a medium shot and then there's banger shots, then the opinion is already made. It's too late. What about you?
Next, I would say don't make it too long. I've seen reels on Vimeo and YouTube of like people that are 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes long, and as you said, the attention span is really low. If you want the production company to like hire you or like be interested in your work, you have to like, as you said, the first 5-10 seconds have to be bangers and bangers and bangers, and then they'll go on your projects. There's no need to drag out the video for 2.5 minutes. I would say a sweet spot, because as you work on like a lot of projects, you start to stack up like a lot of different clips. But I think sub 60 seconds is like a good, like 1 minute to like or under is a good goal, and it's also nicer on socials and stuff. But also for like the production companies or agencies you want to impress, 60 seconds is the top limit, I would say.
Yeah. I would say it depends on if it's not social, you can go 1.5 absolute max.
Yeah.
But sweet spot is 1 minute. So also,
Yeah, 1.5 I would say. Yeah, I guess if you want like a director's cut for like your website, I guess you could do that. But like, don't do 2 minutes, because like no one watches your reel for 2 minutes. As 100%. Good as your work is, no one will watch it.
Because like we said, after 3 seconds the opinion is made, and after 15 seconds they have a really good picture of what you do.
Yeah, and they're gone after like
and
25.
They're gone. Other if it's your mom and she's like, look what he does. He's so cool. You know.
Love mom. Love you, mom.
Thank you, mom.
Next point.
Put in the work that you would like to be hired for. I think that's a really important thing, because you might have cool shots of, let's say, documentaries, but if you don't want to do documentaries, then don't put it in there, because people are going to be, you know, thinking, if you have too many documentary shots, people might be thinking, oh, he's a documentary DP, even though you don't want to be it. So that's when you can really decide on what if you want to do, you know, artsy music video with a lot of colors, put it in your reel, a lot of it. So people will be like, oh shit, that's a really creative, artsy DP who does a lot of music videos. Even that might not be true yet.
Speaking of mic.
That might not be true yet, but it's what you want to do. So, you know, kind of force it in there.
Yeah. Next point I would say is the music choice is very important, I think. Even though like some people might watch it on mute. But the music choice is very important, because you don't want, even though it's your favorite artist, you don't want the music that's too that people would hate, or people would really have a hard time listening to. So anything too extreme, I would say, is not really a good fit. Unless it's like really your brand and you really want,
It really fits your style.
it really fits your style. But I think something like kind of like mellow in the middle, you can still have something upbeat if you want, or something slow if you want, or something, more rock or hip hop, whatever. But just don't use, in my opinion, music that's too extreme in one way or another.
I don't know if I agree 100% on that. Maybe like if you're super extreme, yes. But I think as long as it fits your style and your vibe, like it has to. Like I'd rather have something extreme that really fits your vibe than something like generic and mellow that everybody would use to pictures that maybe doesn't necessarily fit.
Exactly. But I think if you fall in the category of where you can have really extreme music, maybe you do like only like hardcore music videos and stuff like this, of course your music is going to be the same way in that realm.
Yeah.
But I think as a rule of thumb, for like the average DP that shoots like commercials, music videos, maybe features and stuff,
I agree.
I think you need something like kind of like balance in the middle. If you do only hardcore hip hop, just like put hardcore hip hop, because like that's what you want.
And if you only do very dramatic stuff,
exactly,
it's dramatic. That's the vibe you're going for. Yeah, we agree. Yeah, I understand.
One other thing, this is my opinion. I'm not sure it's something you have to do or something you don't have to do, but it's aspect ratio. Because usually the videos like I put in my reel are extracts from like the master export. So it's like in a certain format. Let's say it's 4:3 or 2:4 or like 16:9. Different aspect ratios. And I find really hard. I mean, it's my opinion. So if you have another opinion, like please share. I don't like it when the aspect ratio changes all the time.
Oh yeah.
Because especially if you go banger to banger to banger to banger, I feel like it's a little bit distracting. So like what I try to do is just like even out and have everything in like one aspect ratio, which is most of the time 16:9 or 2:35. Something like kind of like standard. So if you have stuff shoot open gate, or if you have if you have stuff shot like 4:3 and stuff like this, I would zoom in and just like lose a little bit of the frame, but have something a little bit more streamlined.
I mean, I kind of agree with you, but I believe you can be very creative with
Of
the
course.
edit. If you find a way to bring that in. For example, the reel I'm working on right now, I have these shots of 1:1 for Instagram, and that's like the only version I have of that project, and I really like them. So what I did was just bring them in 3 times.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And so they fill the frame and stuff like that. So just be creative.
But you feel the frame. You don't have black bars on the side.
Yeah, but you could still even go like wilder. That's a really simple way I do it. But you could go wilder and work with it. But I agree, don't just put the shots in and then it changes from 4:3 to 16:9 to 4:3 again. To
Exactly. Yeah.
2.4 by.
Because I feel like
I agree.
If like
Just be creative. I think
you don't want your reel, and that's why I mentioned the music earlier. You don't want your reel to be too distracting to like what you want the people to see, which is the image.
Because at the end, it's your images.
Exactly. Yeah. So and if they want to see like the project you shot up in gate, they'll go on in your projects to do it.
Yeah. 100%.
How do you go about the grade? Because I said that most of the projects I put in my reel are from the master export, so the grade is basically set in from the master. But I know some people save some raw clips. Either they get it from like the DIT or whoever, or they ask the production company, and then they regrade it to have some sort of like continuity within the reel, which I think is not necessarily a good thing, as it kind of makes everything looks the same. If you do like one overall grade on everything, then you don't have the subtle changes between one project and the other. It's just like one grade. Which could be good, but it's like you only do this Kodak grade thing, and
I would never do that. I think because first of all, like you said, most things are already like final edits that I have, final versions, and if I'm not happy with the final grade, and I'm really happy with the project, and chances are it's the case because it goes in my reel, so I'm really happy with the shots. I will already have done a version of my own grade if I'm not happy, and then I'll use that one.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't make it like one continuous grade because, like you said, it just doesn't make sense because there's so many different projects in there with different styles that are shot different way.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make sense to grade that. I would just the only reason I would grade it myself is I wasn't happy with the grade that someone else did, that the project ended up having. Yeah. And I'll do it myself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? Same?
Pretty much, yeah. I try not to grade. There are in my actual video there are a couple clips I think I regraded completely because I think
sometimes when they're really old and you're not happy with it anymore, maybe if I have the chance,
But I think like I'm working on the new one now. I think I'm just gonna try to like keep it like as real as possible in terms of as close to the original project as possible. Not like, because I feel like it removes a lot of like the different like stuff that make the videos great. You know, if you streamline everything, like you make everything looks the same, I don't think
that would make sense. And it's a reel. It's supposed to show different styles and different things you do.
Yeah.
And if that's only one thing that wouldn't match, I think.
How do you go about titles? Because as we said, we want the three, like the 3 to like first 8 seconds of the reel are like the most important ones. But I've seen a lot of people have like the first 10 seconds just being their names, like Phil Schneiter, cinematography reel, you know, and like having a really dramatic, most likely yellow text in the middle of the frame, you know, like stuff like that. And I feel like if you really think about like, okay, I want to make a video that looks good for everyone to see, like whatever. Okay, make her like the title with your name, make it nice, make it like as hipsterish as you want. But I feel like if you really want a reel to like be impactful and have the first 8 seconds to like, as you said, bangers and bangers and bangers and bangers, the title can like go in the end.
Either in the end or like build it into the shot. Like maybe have a creative way of building it into one shot.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know, basic idea, but a person is walking across the frame and you reveal your title for like a second. Yeah. And it's not in the first second, maybe it's after the first 3 shots where people are already like, oh shit.
Exactly.
That's dope. And then the title comes. That's cool.
I would say that what you just said is really good. Is if you decide to have your name integrated at some point in the video, don't necessarily add it in the first clip because the first thing has to be the best work. So if you happen to have your best work being the one where the stars align and you can actually put the real like the
perfect.
That's perfect. But like
but
most likely
the main thing has to be the shot and not because the first 3 seconds, if I need to read your name, chances are I already know your name because I clicked on the video.
Exactly.
And you know, it's cool to integrate it. I think I'll do it too, but not the first second.
Exactly.
I have to wait 2 seconds or 3 seconds already to see the work.
Yeah.
And our brains are wired to like, okay, next.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
How do you feel about the actual edit of the reel? Do you try to keep it simple or are you trying to, because it's not an editor reel. Yeah. But I've seen a lot of people doing like sound design and shit on their reels. And it always like kind of like.
It heightens the whole thing, no?
It heightens the whole thing. But also at the same time, it distracts you from like what you want people to actually look at. If it's
maybe too much.
If it's a cinematography reel, I feel like what you look at is like what the image look like.
Yeah.
You don't need like light leaks or you don't need like whooshes. You don't need like sound design.
I don't know about the sound design. I think it can heighten the whole thing. If the whole experience gets better, then you remember that person better. It's just facts. Yeah. But if it distracts you, then chances are it's just too much. Then you did too much. Yeah. It distracts you from watching the video. Yeah. But then it's just bad sound design, honestly. Because good sound design, it will help the experience you watching this. So I think it's up to whoever. And also editing, I'm not an editor, but I like to do something special than just hanging shot after shot after shot, which is okay for a reel. But the way I am, I'm always like trying to even, make it even better. And chances are that's why you're not making your reel because you're trying too much. It really depends, man. You have for me, what I always start with is, I just told you I've never even done a reel. I'm doing my first reel right now. Yeah. It's funny me talking about it, but I really know what I want now. And the way I go about it, I'll choose a song at very first, and then I'll edit to that song. Yes, it's kind of like a music video. There's nothing else in the edit, so you need to make it kind of vibey with the song.
That's hard, huh? To find a good song.
Yeah. I've looked for them for a long time. Like I kind of saved them once I heard them. Like, oh, this could be something. So now I have like a cool idea of what to bring, but still, so it's hard. What about you with editing? You keep it very simple?
I think like for the real, like the one I'm gonna send to agencies and stuff, and like the one that's gonna live on my website and shit. I try to keep it as like clean as possible because I think like that's the same concept for like the same aspect ratios and stuff. Like I want the reel to be as distraction free as possible.
Yeah.
However, once this is done, I've done this I think last year, and I'm gonna be doing this year as well. Is just like make a reel for social media.
Yeah, for sure.
Where the vibe is a little different, maybe a little more high paced, maybe a little bit more of like not effects, but you know like light leaks and stuff, like to catch attention and stuff, because it's more of a vibe I want to give to the people rather than like look at my work.
Pictures,
Exactly. So I think like these are the two different like type of reels I would do.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna do that much different for the reel. I'll just definitely do it like a 9x16 version.
Yeah.
And just like maybe use other music, because then on Instagram you can use
whatever you want,
copyrighted music.
Yeah.
And I think I'll do another edit for that, like with my very favorite music,
50
which I
Cent.
can't use otherwise. Exactly.
No, yeah, that's right. And once your reel is done, so you said you were gonna put it on the website, and then what do you think you're gonna do this year with it? Like, are you gonna like pitch immediately, or are you gonna just use it, have it in your back pocket to like when someone asks you for a quote, you can just like do the quote and like link your reel in the like the footnote or something like this?
I think once my reel, like, I don't think I'll use it for quotes. I don't think it really, because chances are if I'm quoting, people already know what I do.
Yeah.
It's on my website and stuff. But since I'm in the process of like reaching out to a lot of people, I definitely wanted to have ready by then, because it really helps making a picture, especially for people that have never heard of you, never seen you, and want to make a picture of you. Easy. Yeah.
That's nice.
What about you?
I think like it's just like at that point the reel is just like a marketing tool, to be honest. So like website obviously like
it's like a business card.
Yeah,
kind of.
essentially. And I think like every time you reach out to people or like connect with new people, it's easy to just like send a reel just so like they understand.
I think I'm gonna. Sorry, go ahead.
I've had like a couple times like people asking for a reel, so it's always nice to just like send it out like immediately, because like maybe sometimes someone got your number through someone, like they didn't really go on your website, like, yeah, what's up, we have this project, and you have a reel,
give me an impression quickly.
You send it off, and I think it's just like something nice to have in your toolbox to
100%,
pitch yourself.
I think I'm also gonna do a version for Instagram, like we said, and then kind of pin it on my page.
Oh yeah,
so it's like the first thing you can watch. Because chances are, also when I'm checking someone else out, I'm watching the first 3 videos on the top. Yeah. And since now you can pin them, it helps if it's something that really like shows off quickly what you do. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it makes sense to have it on Instagram, because Instagram, as we've said numerous times in this podcast, is like one of the spots where like people connect to each other and like see your work. Yeah. And as you said,
kind of like a new website.
The first 9 little squares
are gonna do the first impression, and then the first 2 videos they're probably watching.
Yeah,
100%.
Most important ones.
That's a good change that you can now pin. Them.
This and the link in the stories. Like, because before you couldn't do links unless you had like 1,000, like 10,000. 10,000. And now it's that. This is great.
Some things they're doing right.
Some others
not.
Yeah.
Hey, that was great.
Yep, good one.
I'm excited to see each other's highlight reels.
Yeah.
Another goal for 2024? No. This month?
No, this has to be this month. Yeah. But I have like a few projects I have finished before.
But you started editing yours, yeah?
I started end of last year, just like have a
choosing shots.
Yeah, but I think I'm just gonna redo everything from scratch, because I have like so many new projects that actually came out in between, and I'm like, oh, now I can actually share stuff, because like I shot stuff like last year that have not been out already, so it's always really frustrating.
Of course,
but
I think you just have to do it.
Yeah,
and then next year you can add all these new shots and kill other shots.
Exactly,
that works.
All right, now subscribe to the channel if you just stumbled upon us.
maybe by now the reel's already done because this was recorded way before we post it. So
What day
go
is
check
it
it
today?
out.
It's January.
Today is January 17th.
Oh.
So definitely go check out our websites or Instagram. Maybe the first pinned video will be the reel. Who knows? And if not, just text and say like, dude, where the fuck is the reel?
You're slacking, bro. You're slacking, bro.
Bring that fucking reel. Don't procrastinate.
Yeah. All right.
See you soon.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye.
One love.